South Carolina at 7 Eastern, Tennessee, Missouri at 9, Tuesday on SEC Network and the ESPN app. Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
We need to have super teams. We need back-to-back. We need villains. The Chiefs going back there could be Kelsey's last game, Chris Jones' last game, who knows? Andy Reid riding off into the sunset, and the Dodgers to win 3 in a row. We need that. That's what we need in sports. The best possible next champions in all of sports, Chiefs and Dodgers.
Unsportsmanlike. Weekday morning starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
This is TGL on ESPN, live in prime time. Come on! Join Tiger, Rory, and the PGA Tour's biggest names in a season-long head-to-head competition. All right. Combining the top players with advanced technology. More screens, more moving greens, more history in the making. Yes! It's Golf Reimagined. TGL, presented by SoFi on ESPN and the ESPN app. All of TGL, all in one place.
This is Freddie and Harry on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Well, I didn't care if he was an international player. I felt like Victor Wembanyama, because it's something we've never seen, is the next face of the NBA. When you have that guy with that mindset, great things are going to happen. I believe in the San Antonio Spurs. I believe in Mitch Johnson. And watch out, because I also believe they're coming out the West.
Check out more from Freddie and Harry weekdays at 3 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
They're playing
Saturday, it's some of college basketball's best teams all day on ABC and ESPN. First, at 1 p.m. Eastern, it's number 4 Arizona versus number 2 Houston on ABC. Then it's top-ranked Michigan versus number 3 Duke and number 6 Iowa State versus number
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog,
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Dale McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Told you guys. I told you. Oh, I did. Football Friday. And Football Friday, even though there isn't a Friday trifecta, means football music all throughout the show, no matter what. Of course, we always have football topics. It's in the show. It's in the contract. We've got to have football topics. We're not like a football show. It's not like we're a full-blown football show in as much as like, some shows are just, they deal with nothing but football because we love sports of all sorts. So we try to bring you as much different stuff as possible as well and everything that is going on in the world of sports. And, it's worked for 27, 28 years. So, we're not going to change it now. So we'll keep rolling with that. But we do have a lot of stuff going on, regardless of the fact that we're now waiting for spring ball to begin. The combine is next week. Now we are in player evaluation season. Okay, here's a staggering fact for you, okay? Here's something that maybe will edify you a little bit.
We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
All right, here you go. So pay attention. Pay attention. In this century, Talking about in this century.
We're talking about 25 years.
25 years.
That's a quarter of a century.
It's a long time.
That's a long time.
Long time. In this century, since 2000, 37 quarterbacks have been drafted in the top 5 picks of the NFL draft, and not one has won a Super Bowl for the team that drafted them. Not one. Sam Darnold just won one with the Seahawks. It's his 5th team. He was drafted by the Jets, 3rd pick overall. Drafted by the Jets. Okay? So this means one of two things. A, most top 5 quarterbacks are a reach. I mean, you pick them and you hope. Okay? You pick them and you hope. Or B, teams drafting in the top 5 are such mismanaged perennial dogs that they can't win with anybody. And that's kind of scary if you're a fan of a team that picks that high. Now you say, wait, what about Eli Manning? What about Eli Manning? 1-2 for the Giants. Eli Manning was drafted by the Chargers. Never played for the Chargers. Eli Manning was drafted by the Chargers and traded to the Giants. In fact, there have only been 5 quarterbacks in the 60-year history of the NFL that were top 5 quarterbacks when they were drafted and then went on to win the Super Bowl with the team that picked them. Only 5. Bob Greasy with the Dolphins, Terry Bradshaw with the Steelers, Jim McMahon with the Bears, Troy Aikman of the Cowboys, and the last one to do it was Peyton Manning with the Colts. Drafted in the top 5 and then won a Super Bowl with the team that drafted him. Now you say, wait, what about John Elway and the Broncos? No, Elway was drafted by the Baltimore Colts and refused to report there. And said he was going to sign with the Yankees to play baseball, which he did and briefly played in the minors. And then the Colts traded him to Denver.
We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
So now you know. A little education. Now, there's one guy that's a little bit of an outlier. It's maybe like 5.5 on this list. It's Joe Namath. It's Joe Namath. Now you say, why isn't Joe Namath on it? Well, Joe Namath was the first overall pick in the 1965 AFL draft by the New York Jets. He was picked 12th in the first round by the St. Louis Cardinals in the NFL. So the NFL Cardinals had drafted him. The AFL Jets had drafted him. The AFL was on life support at that point. And Sonny Werblin convinced Joe Namath to sign with the Jets for $400,000, which was more than anybody had ever made ever in the history of ever. And so he went to the Jets. But that was not an NFL draft. That was the AFL draft. So that, we're not putting that one there. But it's kind of a gray area, that one. All right, hour number 1. Hour number 2, I should say. Well, not really. Neither hour of the show is wide open. We're not wide open, but we're open enough. You can feel free to jump in and contribute. 256-576-4977 would get you in. That number is good wherever and however you consume the show. We have a text window that is open as well. We'll read and react to those on the air. 732-9TA show, 732-982-7469. That will get you into the show as well. You can also watch the show on WZZN TV, and you can find that at the various Facebook or, X locations. Maybe the easiest way is to go to my X feed at Thom Abraham Show. If you go to my X feed at Thom Abraham Show, you can see it right there. Now, coming up at the bottom of this hour, Beau Morgan from the Falcons Radio Network and 92.9 in Atlanta will join us. And actually, I believe he's at Echo Park Speedway right now in Hampton, outside of Atlanta, for this weekend's races there. So, we can kind of double dip with him on a few different things. We'll triple dip with him. We get a Braves thought as Walt Weiss takes over the Braves, and they'll open spring training tomorrow with the Blue Jays. Now, if you're jonesing for a little bit of baseball, as I am, The Yankees and Orioles opened their spring training on the MLB network immediately following the show. They waited for my show to end. Immediately following the show at 12:05, Yankees and Orioles on the MLB network, which is a nice little appetizer before the U.S. and Slovakia play hockey at the Olympics with a spot in Sunday morning's gold medal game on the line. And I think coming up in about 15 minutes, unless I'm screwed up, it is so hard to follow the schedule. But I think Canada, without Sidney Crosby, will play Finland in the other semi, and I think it starts later this hour, or like in 15 minutes maybe, or 10 minutes maybe, I think. The time zone things has got me all messed up. And then today, you can end your day with some golf from Riviera Country Club in Los Angeles at the Genesis Open out there. I mean, it's a pretty salty Friday lineup. A little baseball, a little hockey, a little golf. I mean, it's not a bad day. It's not a bad day on a Friday. That is not a bad day. And for me, tomorrow, I mean, look, tomorrow is a great college hoops day. I mean, there's some tremendous college hoops games tomorrow, not only in the SEC, but of course, it all comes to an end tomorrow night with the Duke-Michigan game. Talking about 1v3. You also got, I think, 2v4 going as well with Houston and Texas, and then Houston and Arizona, and then you also got the Duke Michigan game. So I mean, it's a great college basketball game tomorrow. For me, too, I might fit a little fishing in midday. I'm shaking down my boat, my gear. I'm getting ready my first tournament of the year next week at Chickamauga. So, and by the way, to that end, we talked about doing a Friday fishing report, and you guys acted like, you know what, a Friday fishing report. Oh, that game is on now. Finland is leading Canada 1-0 right now. Is it the first intermission? Where the heck do I find the game? Finland's up on Canada 1-0, and I'm watching speed skating in the studio. What the heck is going on here? Now I got to go find it. All right. Anyway, we talked about doing a Friday fishing. We're going to end the show today with our first installment of the Friday Fishing Report with Captain Jake Davis of Mid-South Bass Guides. Now, every Friday, I'm going to feature an area guide or a pro from the region. I hope you like it. Kind of set up your weekend if you're thinking about doing a little fishing. This will set you up. And you can, if you got any questions that you want me to ask him or any of the guides or pros that I have on, just hit me up in the text window. We'll just do like 6 minutes, 7 minutes. Today we're going to focus on the pre-spawn and, cold water, and this time of year they're starting to fill up the reservoirs and all that kind of stuff. So we'll get into some of that stuff with Jake. Back at Mission Control, playing the Play Doesn't Matter to Stacks of Wax. Fired up for a Friday.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together on a spit and polish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
I have a sentimental weakness for my children, and I spoil them, as you can see. They talk when they should listen.
Give me back my son!
I don't like violence, Thom. I'm a businessman.
I'm telling you, there's an embarrassing press conference in that kid's future.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Do you hear the grasshopper, which is at your feet?
Old man, how is it that you hear these things?
Young man, how is it that you do not?
As quickly as you can, snatch the pebble from my hand. When you can take the pebble from my hand, it will be time for you to leave.
I don't know, John. I guess it's on NBC, maybe?
I don't know.
Where's the hockey?
I haven't adjusted the TVs in the studio to where I can actually watch them just yet, but I will definitely be getting to that here in a moment.
I don't even know where it is. I'm not sure where it is. It says it's on NBC on my TV. It's today with Jenna and Chenille. I don't know. And they're showing highlights of it on or maybe they're Peacock or. It's so difficult.
It is
to find this stuff, and it's so difficult to find what time this stuff is going to be on.
Yeah. Look, I will say having it all on Peacock is very nice. All in one spot, you just kind of find it.
Oh, really? Maybe I should just go to Peacock then.
There you go. But it can get a little bit confusing with the schedule because obviously it's on the other side of the world, and it's just how the Olympics are. But whenever you do get to watch them, they're pretty amazing, I will admit.
Well, I mean, the Chicks game yesterday was incredible. I was listening on the radio. I was actually listening to Mad Dog Russo. The only thing, and I don't mind the hairstyle. I mean, she's just a little goofy. She says she doesn't diet or anything like that. But whatever that thing is in her mouth, I can do without that.
Yeah.
It's even worse than a nose ring. I hate it. The nose ring looks stupid, but that thing in her mouth, whatever she's got like a pierced gum or something. I don't even know what it is.
Yeah, it's not my style. I'll say that much. Every time I look at it, it kind of brings me a little bit of pain. But she's a total alternative girl, and she's really good at skating.
Very cool.
And on top of that, she's a huge anime fan. So that resonates.
Oh well, there you go. Well, who knows? I mean,
everybody knew.
Couple of things in there I got to get in here. I know I got a couple of callers here. I'm sitting there, but folks in the Valley were saddened to hear about the passing of Valley radio and TV legend John Malone. At 62 years old, he never recovered from a stroke that he suffered, I think, in November. John Malone is from Fayetteville. He owned a couple of radio stations up there. He did weather on the weekend on TV in Huntsville. He was a DJ for years in the area, multiple radio stations. I mean, John Malone. I never knew John Malone. I'll be honest with you. I've been on the air for 22, 23 years in the Valley, and we had to have met somewhere, sometime. I'm sure we've met, but I really didn't know John Malone. So, but I know many, many people. He did weather on the weekends, for TV and stuff in Huntsville on a couple of different stations. But a lot of people very saddened to hear about his passing. He meant a lot to a lot of people. There was no doubt. And then I just got word about this from my son, the Knuckle Dog. This is stunning. Wes Rucker, who for years was my Tennessee Vols go-to guy when I first went to Nashville. Wes Rucker was killed in a car accident, 43 years old. Wes Rucker. You guys have heard him on the show. Now, I hadn't had Wes on in a while, but, Wes was one of my guys. He was one of my regulars. I mean, an every week kind of guy. Wes Rucker. I mean, just absolutely tragic. The past guy. I mean, he was in his late 20s when he started with me on the show. And he was back in the day. He covered the Vols for 24/7 Sports, and he covered the Vols, at WBIR over there in Knoxville. And I mean, you guys know that. I would think you'd know the name. He is Jason Swaim's co-host. This is awful. The Wes Rucker show, and co-hosted Swain and Rucker on ESPN Radio out of Knoxville. I mean, it's just so sad. Wes Rucker killed in a car wreck, and I know he had a family. A lot of comments are pouring in on it. It is really sad, really sad. Who would know him Philip would remember Wes Rucker coming on my show all the time back in the day. Let me start there with the Philip. Philip, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
You remember Wes Rucker? He was on the show all the time. He's our Vols guy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, 43 years old, killed in a car accident.
So, any word from alternative girl sissy fan boy from Michigan?
If you're talking about Wolverine Dan, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Danica. Yeah.
He's passing, man. He says that he doesn't want anything to do with you. So he won't even take the action. We've encouraged him to take the bet. I mean, it's an innocuous, it's not like it's a bad bet or it's a hard, it's a fair bet. For those of you that don't know, Philip threw it out there and he said, if 5 shows in a row, I will be Wolverine Philip or he will be Blue Devil Dan, depending on who wins the Michigan Duke game. And to me, you would be in more trouble than him because I think Michigan is favored in that game.
Yeah, I mean,
he won't.
Hey, you can encourage him to stop cross dressing with his wife's clothes, but I mean, that's
he doesn't cross dress with his wife's. See, this is why he doesn't want anything to do with you because you say this kind of stuff.
Well, if he'd man up, a little bit, but whatever. Anyway, I'm going to move on. So I find it ironic, and I've not chimed in on the baseball balls and strikes thing. Take a moment and breathe in the fact that Major League Baseball has figured out how to do that with a baseball moving 100+ miles an hour.
Mm.
But the NFL, the greatest, richest, most powerful entity in the universe, and the world would just, implode upon itself if it wasn't here to take care of us. Cannot figure out how to tell if any part of a football crosses a first down line.
Mm.
They can't do it. It's a football.
Yeah, well, I mean, you remember baseball's doing this. Baseball's doing this with cameras. Baseball is doing this with cameras, and football, you got all them bodies in the way, so it'd have to be the chip in the ball. I think they'll get there eventually, but I got to tell you, Philip, I'm not real thrilled with what I'm hearing about the strike zone for baseball, for the ABS system, because the strike zone is not a cube, which is the plate. The whole plate is not in play. For baseball, that ball has to pass through the middle of the plate, okay, for it to be considered a strike. So if you throw a pitch, a sweeper that goes across the 8.5 inches, the first 8.5 inches of the plate, you throw a sweeper and it catches the front left corner of the plate and wide the middle of the plate.
Yeah, I agree, and maybe they'll tweak it a little bit. And I'm good with just the umpire having. It's like I've watched the Tides do for several seasons, where the umpire had a little thing that went, and or if it went, then it's a ball. If it went, it's a strike, and on every pitch.
That's what I think they should do. Yeah, that's what I think. Right, having to challenge, to me, is not a. I don't like that. This having to challenge thing. And then, I got it wrong. I got this one wrong. Oh, okay. And now I can't challenge anymore. No, just get it right every single time by telling the umpire if it's a ball or a strike.
I'm good with that. But hey, at least they're trying.
They're trying.
They're not moving our game around the world. They're not,
Talk about the Dodgers opened in Japan last. The Dodgers played, Philip, the Dodgers played 2 games. Then the Dodgers and the Cubs played 2 regular season games in Japan and then came back and went back to spring training. That was stupid too.
That's different. And they're not, trying to figure out how to come up American halftime show they can possibly come up with so that people will talk about them.
Yeah.
Taking a play right out of Jerry Jones's playbook, Well, as long as people are talking about it, you know, it's just, at least baseball is trying to appease its fans, and they've done a great job of speeding up the game. I can't wait. Let's go play ball.
Have a great weekend, Philip. Appreciate the call. So Wes Rucker, the accident was on 40 West, and he leaves behind his wife. He has a 3-year-old son, and his wife is pregnant with a baby girl, and he did not have life insurance policy. Did not have a life insurance policy. So his sister has started up a GoFundMe page, and you go to Wes Rucker's Facebook page, and you'll see the post there, and if you can, you might want to make a donation to that. A 3-year-old son, wife is pregnant with their baby girl, killed in a car accident on 40 West, 43 years old. All right, the rebuttal from Wolverine Dan. Wolverine Dan, he's not very nice. That was not very nice of him, what he said. That's not nice. He's goading you.
He brings up the wife thing, okay? So I'm not going to really be long.
No, he didn't. He didn't bring up your wife. He said you were wearing your wife's clothes.
Anything with wife, I don't like it. Now, with that said, and I'm going to say this again, and then I'm going to get off it and get on my sports feed because I want to talk sports. If you want to say something, come to Huntsville and say it to my face.
I'm going to drag you from Baumhauer's and give you a Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity.
He did say your wife's clothes, though. He didn't say anything about your wife. He said you.
It doesn't matter. Don't say anything about my wife. Period.
Okay.
You can talk about me all you want. I will pummel you. Anyway, let's move on. No.
You mean like the way Detroit, the way the Pistons pummeled my Knicks last night?
Yeah, I was going to bring it up. I got a bunch of stats. Now,
I don't want any stats. That's it. That's our NBA talk right there. Detroit hammered the Knicks.
No, come on. I work hard on this. I do prep just like you do. This is part of my show. All right? I'm the guy. I've been with you forever. Now, listen to me. The record right now is 41-13. Explain to me why I have to go to Prime to watch the game. How come there's all these West Coast games and you're not showing the Pistons? They got the best record in the NBA, Tom.
Yeah, nobody's buying in yet, though.
Oh, geez, here we go. All right, so if you're going to do that, I'll go here. The largest loss is 2019 for the Knicks, okay? By 38, and the worst one before that was 38 points. Back at, 38 points back in 2019, okay? It was awful, okay? The last 3 games we played, we beat you by 28 points a pop, okay, a game. All right? Seven games back as Cavaliers in our division. We're running away with the division, and we had our 2 best players on 2 of the 2 best players, along with Cunningham, was suspended, okay? And they're going to be coming back in a couple games, okay? Cunningham, 42 points, 13 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 block shots. Tom, he should be in running. Don't you agree with me?
He is. Yes, he's in the running.
In the league.
Yeah, he's in the running. There's no doubt.
Okay, good. I'm glad. At least we come to an agreement, okay? Yeah. But they're special, Tom.
But I told you, I'm not stop calling me with NBA stuff. I don't talk about the NBA till the playoffs. Unless something big happens.
Okay, all right. I'll tell you what do we got? About a month from now?
No, it's like 3 months from now. The playoffs don't start till May.
Holy Christ. That ain't fair. Okay, you know what? If you want me to do that, it's your show. I won't bring up basketball, okay, except college basketball.
College basketball, yeah. Let's see you go get, that Duke-Michigan game. That's going to be a thing. All right, listen, I got a jet.
Okay.
I got a jet.
All right. So,
can I jet? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Appreciate you. I got to jet because I'm late to get the Beau Morgan. All right. He's coming up. Beau Morgan, Falcons Radio Network. He's at the track in Atlanta, and we'll get a Braves take on him, and we will not ask him about the Atlanta Hawks. It's the Tom Abraham Show. Back with more in a moment.
Scott Tyson here with their 97.7 ESPN Zone Sports Minute. Thursday night GSE basketball. The UAH Chargers would have 4 players scoring double figures, led by Matt Thurman's 24 as they notched their 5th straight win, 97-71 over Auburn Montgomery. On the women's side, UAH sets a new program record with their 19th conference win of the season. They knock off Auburn Montgomery 87-61. Lily Wilkin leads the way, 25 points. Both teams back at it Saturday, hosting Montevallo, 2 p.m., 4 p.m. tips. High school regional winners from yesterday on the boys' side, Northwest Regional Class 5A boys, Guntersville over Boaz, East Limestone over Lawrence County, and on the 6A side, Coleman over Clay Chalkville and Lee over Muscle Shoals. Girls Northwest Regional Action Class 5A, Guntersville over Russellville and West Point over Priceville. Class 6A girls, Hazel Green over Decatur. Make sure and download the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app today.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Thom Abraham here from my friend Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental, and they have a brand new product for you. If you happen to be standing on a concrete or tile floor, Valley Equipment has the perfect cleaning solution for you. Whether it's new construction, daily work areas, or an area that's been neglected for too long, the Valley Equipment team of experienced professionals can help you choose the right floor scrubber or sweeper for your needs. Valley even has the right cleaning products for the job. Call Valley Equipment Rental today to learn more. Make a clean sweep with Valley Equipment Rental. Thom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he could take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well, because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
4-time Grammy-nominated Joe Bonamassa, hailed as one of the world's greatest guitar players. Blues rock titan Joe Bonamassa, performing live March 19th at the BBC Mark C. Smith Concert Hall. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Joe Bonamassa. Every show is a new experience.
Brian Bellamy State Farm Insurance, located in the Rosie's Shopping Plaza, strives to help customers find the best auto insurance, home insurance, life insurance, and more. No matter where you are in life, Brian Bellamy State Farm Insurance is here to help you find your best insurance and retirement needs. You can find them on the web at brianbellamyagency.com or call them at 256-539-7530. Brian Bellamy State Farm Insurance is a proud supporter of UAH Athletics and reminds everyone to go Chargers. Brian Bellamy State Farm, here to help life go right.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by my friends at All About Water LLC. Well, you can learn more about them at allaboutwaterllc.com. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but look, they do everything that has anything to do with water, whether it's building a pond or refreshing your pond or a water feature on your property or drainage on your property. Whatever it is involving water, they do it. That includes irrigation, maintenance of your irrigation, installation of irrigation. All About Water LLC. I didn't even know they had a fight song.
Yeah, I didn't know it existed either.
Where do you find these random? Oh, you got the interweb thing.
We have technology.
Falcons have a fight song? Fly High Falcons? You know what the Falcons need to do? They had to go back to the uniforms, that they wore back then when they were the Fly High Falcons when they first came out. And then they could end this whole thing about, what their new uniforms are going to look like. Well, speaking of the Falcons, from Falcons Radio and from 92.9 The Game in Atlanta, and I think joining us from the track in Hampton, which is a bucket list NASCAR thing for me. I need to get over there for a race, especially before that track deteriorates too much. I like it, when it's all bunched up and they're pack racing. Is Beau Morgan joins us now, the Squidbilly. Beau, welcome in, man. How are you?
I'm good, Tom. No, it's been we were down here at the track. It's been a busy day already. We woke up at like 4 a.m. and did the show, and we had Ricky Stenhouse come by. The crazy thing for Ricky Stenhouse is he walks in a camper full of a bunch of people he doesn't know and decides to do like 40 minutes on the radio.
It's a good job by him. You got to appreciate a dude like that. I mean, there's no doubt. Now, are you guys? Is Mike, a actual NASCAR fan? Are you a fan, or are you just doing it because you're radio guys and this is a thing this weekend?
No, we're that was the funny thing when Mike and I started working. We were talking, and he's like, "I just got back from Daytona because we started our show in March." He goes, "I just got back from Daytona." I said, "Dude, I've been down there 3 or 4 times. I love going to the 500." And so it just kind of we went to Talladega and camped out at Talladega 2 or 3, maybe not even a month into our radio show a few years ago. So we're both big fans. I have some of my friends, some of his friends. We have a crew that goes, and the people at Echo Park Speedway. We work with them, so it is a work trip, and that's what our wives and our families think it is, because it is. But we come down here, they take care of us with people at Campers Inn and put us up with some campers, and we spend the whole weekend down here and do a couple of shows for the station and do some interviews, and then when the race day comes, we pack the cooler, find the coldest one in the beer in the cooler, and throw them back while the race happens. It's kind of a combination. We're combining our worlds are combining, like in Seinfeld. George is like, George doesn't want his worlds to combine.
Well, I know about those work trips. I promised my wife that I'd retire in a couple of years, and she says to me yesterday, she goes, "By the way, when you retire, are you going to watch all these sports and everything still? Because I know you do it for your job." And I'm like, "Yeah, probably going to keep watching sports and fishing and might go some NASCAR races and stuff." I've been a NASCAR fan my whole life, since I was a kid. My grandfather lived in Orlando and was a mechanic, and he became $40, and when it became $40, he said, "That's it, I'm not going anymore. I'm not going to pay $40 for the race." But yeah, I've been a fan.
We did more than $40 right now.
Yeah, exactly. We did the entire show Wednesday on the passing of Dale Earnhardt. Had Eli Gold on, who was in turn 3 or turn 4 at that time, calling a race for MRN. We had Eli on. Finns just scored again on Bennington and have now taken a 2-0 lead over Canada in the second period, and it was a shorty besides. Goodness gracious almighty, Canada. Canada's going to screw this up. We're going to have to beat Finland again for the gold medal like we did in 1980. But in any event, so we're big NASCAR fans over here as well. So that's good stuff. I'm glad that you're there. And I look, since they paved the track and they made it, they declared it a super speedway and put that package in. I love the racing there. I mean,
We had Ricky on, and everybody turns on their iRacing thing and they think they're a pro, but when you run these tracks on the simulators, at Echo Park Speedway now here in Atlanta, the cars take off out of turn 2 and out of turn 4 into the tri-oval, and the wall is the track's a little bit more narrow, and handling is much more of a thing here, Tom. So you get the back racing with the handling, and then last year in June, they had quite a few people wrecked out of the race, and they had a true big one. And it created that old late 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s pack style racing where it would be multiple types. You could be single file. You could also be the 2x2 and 3x3 at times. And very much so at the very end of that race, you almost brought back the old slingshot racing where the last 6 or 7 laps would be this cars pulling out of line with the draft and the momentum and just in passing, and it created a lot of that. Ricky talked about it this morning with us. So it's in the track, to your point, since it's been renovated. It is now starting to age, and it's creating different types of pack racing in one track, and so you're getting almost different eras come together. It's a really cool thing to see.
Yeah, it's a very racy track. I love it. It's one of my favorite races of the year. Beau Morgan with us here. All right, so Falcons, let's talk a little bit about that. The early going of the Kevin Stefanski Stefanski era is underway there. I'm a Kevin Stefanski fan. I really like the guy. How have things been going in terms of the reaction of your fans? And how are people accepting the fact that Stefanski, a 2-time NFL Coach of the Year, and who's struggled the last couple of years in a bad situation in Cleveland, how are the fans reacting to him?
I think it was a mixed bag, Tom. I think there was a little bit of, well, this guy was the Browns, and look what he did the last 2 years, and there's obviously a lot of the false narratives that were paraded around by certain members of the media around the Shedeur Sanders thing. And I don't care if you like Shedeur Sanders or not. It doesn't bother me. I had nothing against Shedeur Sanders. Whether he becomes a good pro or not, I don't think is answered yet. But the false narrative that Stefanski by some national reporters who are no longer work for ESPN, and you can go to their page. I won't call them out by name, but you can go to her page. The initials of JA, and it's very Stefanski set him up to fail. And I've never seen a player covered to that extent to where you were throwing coaches under the bus who you needed to fit a narrative for whatever reason. It almost felt like you're on the payroll. And there are others that were anti-Shedeur, which I didn't think was fair either. But so I think that leaked into some. But a lot of people did see, well, look, man, he was in Cleveland. He's the only guy that's won a playoff game in Cleveland.
Right.
Since they've been back, right? And probably since the early 90s, if not the 80s, in totality in the NFL. So I think it was a mixed bag where some people were all on board. They liked it. Some people weren't. The Tommy Rees thing muddied the water for even the ones that were on board. I personally was a Kubiak kind of first and foremost, only because when you've gone through something like Stefanski did at Cleveland, I wonder if maybe it wouldn't have been a best case scenario to kind of take a year off and kind of rid yourself of the stank that you get from coaching in a dysfunctional organization. But I do like him. I like his message. I like the kind of the philosophy that he's coming here with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan's all in on him. And if Matt Ryan's all in on him, why the hell wouldn't I be?
Yeah. And I think, I'm with Dan Orlovsky. I think Kevin Stefanski goes there and wins 11 games and wins the division next year. I mean, I really believe that. I think that he's that kind of a guy. Now, the Tommy Rees, I'm not a Tommy Rees guy. And of course, we had him at Alabama, seen him at Cleveland, of course, came from Notre Dame. I haven't figured out yet what all the hype about Tommy Rees is. I mean, that he's the next guy. And I talked about him being a candidate for head coaching jobs already. He's a young guy. I am a wait and see guy on that. I love what Stefanski had done with quarterbacks, especially with Kirk Cousins. So then that brings us to Kirk Cousins, who, apparently is going to be released here when the league year starts. Is there any chance or thought? I mean, Kirk, he's got a home there in Atlanta. He's got a relationship with Stefanski. Is there any thought that he could be released and then re-signed to a new deal?
I don't think so. I think that
so he's gone.
Yeah, I think so. And look, I know that the regime has changed, but there's got to be a sour taste in your mouth if you're Kirk, the way this thing all played out, right? And he knows that if he comes here, he's not going to be guaranteed a starter because whether they want to say it or not, they're not, and it really hasn't been answered because no one's going to just go out. You know, Matt was asked that, and he's not going to say that. That's not his place to say it. He was asked at Ian's, and Stefanski did talk about Penix a little bit, but I think you want to see what Penix is. At year 3, that was the plan all along anyways, and you've seen some amazing flashes, and you've seen some down moments from Penix. So personally, I think the Cousins thing is kind of is gone, and he'll go his own way. Am I ruling it 100% out? No, but he would have to get on the open market and say, you know what, there's not anything out there. I'm willing to come back and take a very cheap deal because the money. What money is he looking for? Kirk Cousins has never signed a cheap contract that I know of, and if you know of one other than his rookie deal, then I'd love to hear it because he's a very good businessman, and it comes to the sport. So I think the best thing would be to move on, bring someone else in, whether it's what that person looks like is the question. Is it the Flacco type?
Type, yeah.
Would be willing, that knows the offense, sit in there and help. And does he want another year with, come back with Kevin? And I don't know. Also, Tom, I tell you this, I'm not sold that Penix won't be ready either. I did some research on the quarterback injuries and how long they recover from an ACL. And with, we don't know everything that happened, but if there was no catastrophic damage, the timeline is that 7 to 9 month timeline, and that fits Penix starting week 1.
But was he good enough even when he was healthy? Like you say, we've seen some good and we've seen some bad. I just, for Stefanski's case, gosh, I hate to see him go down that path again, and have that parade of quarterbacks coming in there until he can try and find somebody. Now, you can't, I know that, Matt Ryan's not an on-field guy. He's the president of the team, but you're nuts if you don't lean in on Matt Ryan too and just help, obviously with evaluation. And not only that, he knows what it looks like. So you would think that Matt Ryan at least would be an aid, Kevin Stefanski, making sure that they can identify if they got a guy or not.
Well, look, you're right, and there's not a part of me that thinks that if they were like, Matt, what do you think about this or whatever, or Matt won't be sitting in there evaluating players and watching film. I just think when it comes down to it, Matt is going to be, hey, you guys make decisions. If there is a decision that I need to help out with, or if you guys want to bring me in as a tiebreaker or want me to give extra opinions, I'm all in. But Matt, you're right. He's not an on-field coach, and he's not gonna run the scouting department or pick players. But he's going to be a part of those conversations and tell you what he sees. And you would be crazy. You'd be absolutely crazy if you didn't let a guy like Matt Ryan sit in there and give another set of eyes. I mean, this guy he sees the game differently because he's fresh out of just playing it at a very high level. So I agree with you 100% on that.
He also maybe hopefully has a good fashion eye as well, as we all wait with bated breath on the new Falcon gear, and the long national nightmare is over with that stuff that they wore for the last 5 years. Hopefully they get it right this time. Are they going to lean in to some of that throwback stuff? Could we see a red jersey as a primary? What do you know? We see leaks, these leaks that have been coming out that may or may not be real. What do you know about what's going on there? Oh, that's it. You see what happened? I see what happened. Maybe that's him calling right back in. See? So as soon as I asked the Squidbilly about the uniform and if he knows anything, if there's any kind of leakage out there, if he could tell us what's going to happen with the uniform, as soon as I say that, God, he just hangs up on us.
He's back.
I see what you are. See, as soon as I ask you about the uniform, that's it. Click. You just hang up on me because you can't tell me. It's like I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. So I'm just going to hang up on you because you asked me if I knew anything about the uniform. Are we going to go old school or what? Are we going to get something that looks like a football uniform on this team or what?
Yeah, we're gonna look. Yeah. From what I hear, and a good guy for you to follow is my a guy I've gotten to know a little bit named Zach Cohen on Twitter and Instagram. He's got all this stuff on these uniforms. But here's what I'll tell you: the red helmet, from what I know, is going to stay the throwback red helmet. I don't think it'll be a full. I don't think it'll be primary. I think they're going to go with a black helmet of some type. But I would tell you that there is, from what I'm hearing, from what I'm seeing, there's going to, and not from the team, but from people like my guy Zach, there's going to be a red jersey, and it's going to be a much more simple, I don't even know what you would call that last uniform, but it ain't going to look like that garbage. I'll tell you that much.
That looked like a bad arena uniform is what that looked like. When I saw that. Yeah, I saw Zach's post about the uniform. It's very kind of plain and basic, which is fine. It looks like a football uniform. You don't have to have all these different things going on with the uniform. It's fine. I wouldn't match it with black breeches. You look like the Canadian hockey team, I guess, if you did that. But it'd be interesting to see what kind of a look they have. All right, listen, you guys have fun at the race. I appreciate that. We're looking forward to Braves baseball tomorrow. Walt Weiss. Not real hard to do. That's for sure. All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, Tom. Thanks as always.
All right. Thank you. All right. We're going to break in here. We'll come back. We will set you up for hour number 2 as well. It is 2-0. And I got to tell you right now, watching this hockey game, with Jussi Saros, the Predators goalie, in net for Finland, Canada's not going to win this game. I mean, I'd be stunned if Canada came back and won this game. We'll come back with more right after this.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
When you're craving a juicy, made-to-order burger with all your favorite toppings, it's time to head to Five Guys Burgers and Fries. Fresh, never-frozen, hand-formed patties, crispy, fresh-cut fries, savory hot dogs, and topped off with an ice-cold real milkshake. Five Guys knows what you like. Come and get it in Huntsville on North Parkway and on Enterprise, and in Madison on Moonshot Drive and Highway 72. Order online at fiveguys.com or just walk in. Five Guys. Perfection every time. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. Basketball fans, get ready as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament is set to return to the Rocket City and Probst Arena March 10th through 14th, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with Conference USA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. It's 5 days of exciting hoops action at BBC Probst Arena. Jump into the action by getting your tickets now by visiting Ticketmaster.com. And we'll see you inside the BBC March 10th through the 14th. Come find out who will be putting on their dancing shoes.
Normally, when you call a roofing company, all you hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Since 1965, the folks at Fleming have been focused on what you need, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement, commercial or residential. And when it comes to storm damage, you want Fleming on your side. They know all the ins and outs of insurance claims and will guide you through the entire process. Log on FlemingHSV.com and book your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny and mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s. As we head into the overnight, some showers and thunderstorms are going to push their way into the Tennessee Valley. Some of those could pack a bit of a punch, but we're not talking about a major concern for any sort of severe weather. Temperatures drop into the upper 40s, lower 50s. A mostly cloudy sky for your Saturday. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Thom Abraham here for my longtime friend Mike Owen of Owen Home Appliance. You know, Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance prides themselves on community involvement as well, sponsoring local teams and events while making sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. Visit their highly interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river on 231. All right, welcome back to Thom Abraham Show. Coming up, we're going to go open lines at the top of the hour. So if you want to jump on board and any of the things that we have been talking about so far, or you want to talk about some other things that we haven't been talking about so far, that is fine with me. It's kind of like a free-for-all Friday. How about that? We'll call it a free-for-all Friday. All right, you just jump on board. You can do baseball. You can do this hockey. You can do, there's 7 minutes to go in the second period. Canada's being shut up by UC Saros and the Finns, 2-0. You can go in any direction you want to go. You want to do some football stuff? We can do that. We can go down any path you want with the football as well. So we got plenty to get into there if that's where you want to go. So a lot of topics there. I am fired up about the race. There's no doubt about it. I am fired up as well about the basketball tomorrow. We're going to have some great basketball tomorrow. Joe Lunardi's latest update on his bracketology is out there as well. Alabama remains a 4 seed. Belmont is a 12 seed there. And so Alabama, if they were a 5, they'd have to play Belmont. But they're right now, he's got them as a 4 playing UNC Wilmington down in Tampa. Auburn has a massive game tomorrow against Kentucky. Right now, Auburn is a 10 seed after Lunardi has moved them down a couple of spots, and he has them playing Villanova, who is a 7. He has that game in Buffalo. And basically has Auburn on the list with Texas A&M, Ohio State, and UCF as the last 4 teams to not have to play in the first 4. Or that close to the brink. That's why that game against Kentucky is so huge for them. All right, we'll come back. Open lines next. Go ahead and use them. 256-576-4977 on the Thom Abraham Show.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust. Trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care, no appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road. The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Scott Tyson here with our 97.7 ESPN Zone Sports Minute. Thursday night GSE basketball. The UAH Chargers would have 4 players scoring double figures, led by Matt Thurman's 24 as they notched their 5th straight win, 97-71 over Auburn Montgomery. On the women's side, UAH sets a new program record with their 19th conference win of the season. They knock off Auburn Montgomery 87-61. Lily Wilkin leads the way, 25 points. Both teams back at it Saturday, hosting Montevallo, 2 p.m., 4 p.m. tips. High school regional winners from yesterday on the boys' side, Northwest Regional Class 5A boys, Guntersville over Boaz, East Limestone over Lawrence County, and on the 6A side, Coleman over Clay Chalkville and Lee over Muscle Shoals. Girls Northwest Regional Action Class 5A, Guntersville over Russellville and West Point over Priceville. Class 6A girls, Hazel Green over Decatur. Make sure and download the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app today.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog,
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like Dale McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
Oh, baby,
Football Friday in the doghouse, and that means football music all throughout the show. I get it. I understand that we're now, we've got this little lull. We're in this little lull here as we wait for spring ball to get started and the UFL to get started. But, we got the combine next week, and we got a lot of evaluation going on, and we're evaluating quarterbacks, and because it's become such a quarterback-driven league. I get all of those things, and but we're still feeling our vibe. We're still feeling our vibe. And that staggering stat that is out there, 37 quarterbacks, top 5 picks in the NFL in the last 25 years, including Cam Ward with the Titans. And not one has led a team to a Super Bowl victory to a Super Bowl victory for the team that drafted them. Like Sam Darnold just won one, but he won it for the Seahawks, his 5th team. Okay, so, you got to be careful when you're and don't talk to me about Eli Manning. It's a technicality, I know, but he was drafted by the Chargers and traded to the Giants. It's only happened 5 times in history. Bob Greasy and Terry Bradshaw and Jim McMahon and Troy Aikman. The last one to do it was Peyton Manning with the Colts. No, John Elway is the same scenario. John Elway was Eli Manning before Eli Manning was Eli Manning. John Elway was drafted by the Baltimore Colts. It said, I'm not playing. I'm going to go play baseball for the Yankees. And he went in, he was in the farm system, and then finally they traded him to Denver, and he decided to, okay, I'm not a baseball player, I'm a football player. He had a gun. Think about John Elway as a center fielder, which is what he was. I mean, he had an absolute gun. All right, so just as I was writing off Canada, saying, I don't see how Canada can win this hockey game. I mean, they're being dominated by the Finns. They're being dominated by UC Saros. In net, they get it took a freaky little deflection on a guy in a screen right in front of UC Saros for Canada to get one through. It was a shot from the blue line, center, middle cut, right between the circles, and it went off a guy right in front of UC Saros. I didn't catch who it was. I don't have the sound on. And it went off the guy and beat Saros, and so now Canada has cut it to 2-1 with 2.5 minutes to go in the second period, and they have definitely got some jump in their step now. Their whole attitude has changed, the way they're skating right now, the way they're working right now. Now all of a sudden it looks like maybe they will have a chance. We'll see. It is on the Peacock, and we have learned that the U.S. game coming up against Slovakia at 2:10 will be on NBC. That's what they're telling us, that it will be on NBC. That's what it said. So why this game is not on NBC, who knows? I don't know. But the U.S. game will be over there on NBC. All right, phone lines are open, 256-576-4977. That gets you into the show. 256-576-4977. Today's a good little sports day today. It's a good little sports day. I mean, we got this hockey going on here. Spring training starts with the Yankees and the Orioles on the MLB network at 12:05, which is a nice little precursor to the U.S.-Slovakia hockey game. And then if you're a golf fan, you tune in the L.A. Open, which is not the Genesis Open. But it's from Riviera in L.A. Remember last year they had to move that to Torrey Pines because of the wildfires in L.A., but they're back at Riviera there now. So it's a nice sports day. It's a good sports day. And we're going to end the show today with our first Friday fishing report. Yeah, we threw that out there. We said, hey, do you guys want a Friday fishing report? And the general consensus was multiple people said, hey, yes, let's go. Let's have a Friday fishing report. So we will do that. And that'll happen about 11:45 or so, and there'll be, 5 or 6 minutes of that. We'll get you up to speed. If you've got any questions, we're going to have guide Captain Jake Davis of the Mid-South Bass Guides joining us. So if you have any questions that you want me to ask him specifically, you go ahead. I mean, predominantly he's a bass fisherman. I don't want your catfish question or your crappie question, probably not going to get you a good answer, but as much. But, your bass questions and things like that, we'll get into some of that with Captain Jake Davis. And each Friday, I'll bring you a pro or a guide, and we'll talk about, what's going on around the region. And that's from Old Hickory and Priest to the north to Timms and Woods and Normandy, in the Tri-Lake area, to Gunnersville, Wheeler, and Pickwick, and, that whole area as well of the Tennessee River. All right. So if you want to get a question in on that, you just let me know and we could do that. Was devastated to learn of the passing of Wes Rucker. He covered the Vols for many years, was a regular on this show. He was a regular on this show for many years. He was our go-to guy. Wes Rucker was on the show every single week for probably 4 or 5 years back in the day. And, he had been reduced to, just being one of our guys up there in Knoxville. Radio, TV, sports writer, the whole 9 yards. And he was killed in a car accident on 40 West. I assumed someplace out near Knoxville. He was married, his wife Lauren, and he had a 3-year-old son, and she's pregnant with a daughter right now. And he did not have a life insurance policy in place. His sister started a GoFundMe account. And I'm not sure exactly where you get to it or how. There it is. There's a link to it. I'll tell you what I'll do is I will repost the link on my personal Facebook page, Thom Abraham Facebook page, so you can check that out. But it's just a devastating story. And then, of course, we also talked earlier about John Malone and the passing of John Malone, a legend in radio and TV. He had a stroke in November, I think it was, and never recovered from it. And 62 years old, he's gone. So some sad news to report today as well. All right. Story I had on my desk from earlier in the week that I want to get to from Saturday Down South. This one coming from the crew there. And they listed 3 teams, 3 coaches in the SEC on the hot seat. 3 coaches in the SEC on the hot seat. Shane Beamer at South Carolina. After that big 2024 season, things kind of went off the rails for him last year. And now Shane Beamer, they've had 1 season over 500 during his first 5 years there. He's an energetic guy. I like Shane Beamer. I like talking to him at SEC Media Days. He's under contract right now to 2030. If he doesn't do something this year that is pretty decent, a decent bowl game, I think 8 wins, something like that, he could be in trouble. The Shane Beamer era could be coming to an end at South Carolina. So I would agree with that one. Jeff Lebby at Mississippi State. Well, everybody's, ever since the Pirate, everybody that right now, Mississippi State is it's a vast wasteland. Everybody that goes to Mississippi State, it's tough. They were 2-10. It looked like, his first year, it looked like they were going to play a little bit better. Last year, they were scrappy, but they were 1-7 in the league. His conference record is 1-15. Starting to look like Arkansas did during that run. And, he's been whooped in the Egg Bowl by double digits in back-to-back seasons. They got a very tough schedule coming up this year. They got Alabama and Oklahoma and Missouri and Auburn going to Starkville. I don't know that Jeff Lebby makes it to year 4. It might not be fair. And I don't know where the money comes from. You can kind of see where the money comes from for Ole Miss, but Oxford is different than Starkville. I don't know where the money comes from for Starkville. It's just in this age of the disparity in money, because everybody has, a couple of $1 million to spend for revenue sharing, but not in the NIL space. That's a totally different thing. So where does the money come from for Mississippi State to really be competitive, with the top half of the SEC? I think whoever is there, they're on the hot seat. Like they get there, they're on the hot seat. And then the number 3 coach that they have on the hot seat in the SEC is Kalen DeBoer. Kalen DeBoer. It says additionally, or admittedly, DeBoer seems to be on much safer footing heading into 2026 than Shane Beamer or Jeff Luck. You think? But Alabama fans were not thrilled with how 2025 played out. Even with the win in the college football play. Well, do Alabama fans fire the coach? Alabama fans, look, love you, but Alabama fans are among the most myopic fans in the country. Let's be honest. And even when Joel Klatt, hey, back-to-back 4-loss seasons. Well, 9-4, his first season. 11-4 last season. They were the number 1 seed in the SEC. They were 7-1 in the SEC. Yes, they got their head handed to them by Georgia there, but they also beat Georgia at Georgia. And they beat Oklahoma at Oklahoma in the playoff. Yes, they got whacked by the eventual national champions, Indiana. Indiana whacked everybody. How's Kalen DeBoer on a hot seat? You're going to have a young offensive line. Keelan Russell or Austin Mack's going to be the quarterback. And the schedule's tough because it's always tough because they don't dodge people and stuff. The schedule is tough. Get it. They got LSU and Tennessee on the road, but they get Georgia, Texas A&M, Florida State, and Auburn at home. Florida State's got a whooping coming. Make up for that mess that happened down there. Sure, it's a tough schedule. It's always a tough schedule there. When they have been off, they look awful. I mean, they get whacked. But to say that, how is Kalen DeBoer? Look, Kalen DeBoer to be, if they were 8-4, would Kalen DeBoer get jammed at 8-4? That would be a horrific season for the Alabama Crimson Tide. If they went 8-4 and won a bowl game, they'd be 9-4. If they were 9-4 again, it's going to be like, all right, that's it. He's only made 1 playoff in 3 years. You know how many teams don't make the playoff? It's a 12-team playoff. You're going to run him. That's it. Can't have that. They make the playoff and get beat, or they go to the SEC championship game and get beat, and that's it. He's got to go. He's got to go. Be careful what you ask for. Ask Tennessee fan about that. Ask Auburn fan about that. Tennessee blew out Philip Fulmer because he was only winning 9 games a year, and they went into a vast wasteland for 15 years. Auburn, got to get rid of Gus Malzahn. Got to get him out of here. Can't do anything with that guy. And they've been horrible since then. Be careful what you wish for. I know it's Alabama, and I know it's a different standard, but still. Goodness gracious. Especially in this day and age. You're not going to have people out there just completely dominating like you had in the past. It's just a different world. Just a different world. Let's go to lines. Garrett is up. Garrett, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I am fantastic.
I'm an Alabama fan, as you know, and I'd like to weigh in on this Kalen DeBoer thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me say first, I'm a sensible Alabama fan. Doesn't mean I'm not a crazy fan, but I'm sensible. Secondly, I am a Kalen DeBoer fan. Here's where Kalen DeBoer messed up or allowed another coach to mess up. At Alabama and at any team that's going to win, they have to have one main thing, and that is a line. Now, we had the talent at the line, but I told a buddy of mine, at the first Oklahoma game, the guys aren't stepping right. I could go teach them their steps better than what the line coach down there is. Apparently, they couldn't pick up blitzes. You know, all this stuff is the line coach. We're used to having at least a good offensive line. You know, the defensive line, we've usually had good ones, but we've had down years where we've only had one guy that was really something, you know, and so we didn't get as much production one year to the next. We always had a good offensive line.
Yeah, Garrett,
So,
and let me stop you right there for a second, too, because the difference between offensive line play and defensive line, and I've coached both at the college level, I coached both. The difference is that defensive line, you recruit. Defensive line play, for the most part, those are dogs, man. You bring those guys in, you tell them you're a shade, you're going to run this twist, but they dominate physically. Offensive line is much more coach-related in terms of training them together, having them work together, but it's also, not only is it the offensive line coach, and we'll see what Adrian Clem can do, you know, this year as he now comes in as the offensive line coach and what he can do. This is a guy that has NFL experience. But the other part of it is it goes hand in hand with the coordinator and your commitment to run the ball first and foremost.
Exactly.
So if you don't care to run the ball, these guys are not going to be good at running the ball, you know, good at run fits. They're not going to be, you know, and every offensive lineman worse than his salt at some point in time wants to put his hand in the dirt and blow somebody off the ball. Then you worry about pass pro and everything else. Yeah.
And that's the other point I was getting to. We know at Alabama and any other, you know, good team knows if you cannot run the ball, you cannot win. Now, you can beat some people throwing the ball, but it's going to come a point you have to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But and also the pass protection has to do with the tight ends coach. It has to do with the running backs coach. I understand all that. But when your offensive linemen are releasing defensive people to the inside to go block outside, I mean, you know good well that ain't what, you know, you're always inside, always. If you got to pick, you pick the inside guy. You know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, depending on, there are schemes where if you have a back, you know, especially in the empty, and they run way too much empty in my opinion.
Sure.
But if you have a back in there, you know, you will fan and have the back pick up the inside blitz. But, you know, the safer way is always to have block from the inside out and have the backs picking up the edge rusher as opposed to the inside rusher. But yeah, but again, that's all about coordination. That's all about what is your plan. So it'll be interesting to see what Clem brings. You know, we all thought that Kapilovic was a great, you know, get. When they got Kapilovic, I was this is a really good guy. So we don't know, but it all works together. It starts with DeBoer through, you know, his offensive coordinator Ryan Grubb, and then now to Adrian Clem as the offensive line coach. It all has to work together. But you know, but I'm not.
That's what I was getting at on the offensive line. You know, Kellen DeBoer is ultimately responsible for all the other coaches. You know, that's his job, right? So that's why most sensible Alabama fans are saying, let's see what he does. If he just abandons the run again this year, just completely says, nah, we're going to play Pac-12 football, well, you know, that's what everybody's up in arms about.
And look, everybody wanted. Yeah. And thanks for the call, Garrett. That's a good job by you. You know, everybody wanted Ryan Grubb, and I thought the offense definitely played better with Ryan Grubb. There was no doubt about it. That was an improvement. No doubt. Everybody wanted this guy. But we need to keep in mind something. He got blown out at Seattle because they didn't run the ball. He got blown out at Seattle because they didn't run the ball. What do you think about when you think about the Seattle Seahawks, who are now Super Bowl champs? When you think about the Seattle Seahawks, you think about the toughness and the fact that they ran the ball so well with Kenneth Walker and with Charbonneau, the kid out of Michigan, and then they would play action pass. They weren't a Super Bowl champion because they had some sort of incredible quarterback that threw the ball 50 times a game. Not a great defense, but offensively, if you were to characterize the Seattle Seahawks offensively, you would say they ran the ball great, play action pass. They ran the ball physical, pounding style play action pass. That's who the Seattle Seahawks were the year after they let Ryan Grubb go. Just saying. All right, we get a break in here. We'll come back. Lines are open. You want to jump on board? I have a baseball take I want to get off my desk. I've had to sit in here forever. And want to throw that into the mix as well. We got Captain Jake Davis coming up a little bit later on to help us end the show with a little Friday fishing report. We'll be back. Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Thom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he could take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
Where's the best place for sports? What about the best place for wings? If you answered Jefferson's for both, you're right. Jefferson's is also a great place for value. Every Monday, kids eat free with the purchase of an adult meal, and teachers bring your teacher ID, and you eat free every first Tuesday of the month, up to $15 at participating locations. Jefferson's, best place for sports, best place for wings. In New Market and Hampton Cove, and our new location, now open in Hartselle at 200 Main Street West, downtown.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
More savings, more selection, more for your trade. I'm Bobby White, and we've got more to love all month long at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. While they last, save up to $11,000 off MSRP on select 2025 F-150 crew cabs. $11,000 off F-150. Save more on remaining 25 Mustangs, up to $8,500 off MSRP on select models. Yep, $8,500 off on a Mustang. Save up to $10,000 off MSRP on remaining new 2025 Explorers, up to $10,000 off. New 25 Bronco Sports start under $27,000. That's right, just $26,800 after a $1,000 Ford owner loyalty rebate. New 25 Broncos start at just $36,500. That's $36,500 after the $1,000 Ford owner loyalty rebate. And there's never any hidden markups or dock fees. All these offers with your good credit, and we hope to see you soon at Lynn Layton Ford. Right in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline indicator, or online anytime at lynnlaytonford.com.
Basketball fans, get ready as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament is set to return to the Rocket City and Probst Arena March 10th through 14th, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with Conference USA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. It's 5 days of exciting hoops action at BBC Probst Arena. Jump into the action by getting your tickets now by visiting Ticketmaster.com. And we'll see you inside the BBC March 10th through the 14th. Come find out who will be putting on their dancing shoes. What's better than 2 end-zone sports bars? 3 end-zone sports bars. And we have you covered with our original location on University across from Red Lobster, in Jones Valley on Cecil Ashburn near Carl T. Jones, and our newest location in the Midtown District, on McMurtry Drive opposite the Target Plaza. All locations feature the NFL Sunday Ticket, Tuesday half-price burgers, and Wednesday $1 jumbo wings all day long. You're never far from the end zone. End Zone Sports Bar.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny and mostly cloudy sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s. As we head into the overnight, some showers and thunderstorms are going to push their way into the Tennessee Valley. Some of those could pack a bit of a punch, but we're not talking about a major concern for any sort of severe weather. Temperatures drop into the upper 40s, lower 50s. A mostly cloudy sky for your Saturday. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 60s.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by USSSA Softball. If you're looking for a great tournament to put your team in, your high school level softball team in, you need to check out alfastpitch.uSSSA.com and find out where the best tournaments are. Anywhere throughout North Alabama, they've got great tournaments. Go ahead and check it out. alfastpitch.uSSSA.com. That's alfastpitch.uSSSA.com. Yeah, welcome back to Thom Abraham Show. All right, so they haven't started the third period yet. As far as I know, I don't know. My peacock just went away. I'm not sure what was up with that. Canada down 2-1 going into the third. They've been down before, in this tournament, and were able to come back and, and get themselves into this semifinal. But they need to do some work here in this third period. UC Saros stoning them for the most part for Finland. Of course, he is the Nashville Predator goaltender. This is kind of a weird feeling. I mean, I really like UC Saros, right? I mean, he's the Preds goalie and everything else. So, I like UC Saros, but I really want Canada to win. I mean, I want it to be Canada and the U.S., in the final. So we'll see. They are underway now. They just started the third period in that game as my thing rebooted there. 22-11 in shots, something like that. 22-11 in shots. All right, I mentioned the baseball take. A lot of conversation going on, of course, this week. The sudden and relatively unexpected resignation of Tony Clark, who is under all kinds of investigation as the head of the MLB-PA. And the union has elevated what's his name, Bruce Meyer. They've elevated Bruce Meyer to interim executive director, and he has been their chief negotiator for a while. This guy is really got a hair across his butt for management. And he's been with the union since 2018. He's led the negotiation team since 2021-2022 deal when they signed that last deal. And, there was that 99-day management lockout, but it didn't affect any of the season. They got the 5-year agreement in March of 2022. But the issue is salary cap. That's the central issue now, is that baseball needs some sort of a salary cap. Unlike the other major sports, baseball doesn't have a hard salary cap. They have a luxury tax amount, okay, where if you're over the tax threshold of $244 million, you pay a tax. The tax is not stopping these teams from increasing their payroll to some incredible amount. The Dodgers' base payroll for this upcoming season is $390 million. The tax is it sets at $244 if you're over $244. Their cap space is a negative $146 million. So their tax bill is $136 million. That's their tax bill that goes back into the hopper and then is split amongst other teams. So their total cost for their payroll this year, okay, they get $363 million worth of active payroll, and it's going to cost them $527 million. They don't care. They don't care. They're paying $527 million. The Mets payroll is $368. Their tax is $112. The Mets payroll, the cost is going to be $481 million. The Yankees are at $406 with their payroll tax of $73 million. The top 8 teams are all over this $244 million threshold. So the top 8 teams are all paying a tax. The 8th team is the Atlanta Braves. The Braves payroll is $246 million. So they're only $2.4 million over. So their tax is $491,000. They're 8. And the cost of their roster is $246 million. The cost that the Dodgers are paying is $527 million. And that's just the top 8. The disparity between the top 10 is way more than double. Detroit is number 10 at $236 million. Dodgers, $527 million. The Dodgers' payroll is twice San Diego. San Diego's 6. At the other end of the spectrum, the Miami Marlins payroll is $78 million. $78 million. The Dodgers just gave Walker, he's making $60 million a year. That one dude is making $60 million a year. Now, ostensibly, even though it's deferred, Ohtani's making $70 million. That's the entire payroll for Miami. $78 million. Cleveland, $94 million. Washington, $102 million. 5 times less than the Dodgers. You got to have a salary cap. The NFL has a hard salary cap. The NBA, the NHL, everything else has a salary cap. Now, Mayor said this. This is the interim. He's the lead negotiator in these very critical negotiations as to whether or not there's even going to be a season in 2027. About the Clark leaving or having to resign, he said, I'm not going to say this is a great thing. This is unforeseen. At the end of the day, leadership is important, and leadership comes and goes, but what remains is the players. Our union is strong and always has been strong because of the solidarity of our members and of our players. That is going to continue. Anyone that underestimates the strength and solidarity of the MLBPA does it at their own peril. What peril? What peril? This is the way he talks. These are fighting words. The story goes on to say that both sides are pushing for big changes, and on the management side, calls are rising for a salary cap or a cap-like structure. The intent is to even out a situation where the Dodgers, the sport's current 2-time defending champion, are set to nearly quintuple the 2026 player payroll of the MLB's lowest spender, the Marlins. The union has firmly resisted the salary cap for its entire 6-decade existence, previously going through several prior work stoppages to fight against them. MLBPA has long pointed to recent issues in cap-based systems in other sports, such as frequent cap-driven roster cuts and contract restructuring in the NFL. Quote, our position and the historic position of this union for decades on the salary cap is well known. It's the ultimate restriction It is something that owners in all sports have wanted more than anything, and baseball in particular. There's a reason for that, because it's good for them and not good for the players, close quote. Okay. This is a problem for the NFL, isn't it? It's a problem for the NFL. It's much better when you've got a team that can win, that can have a payroll that's 5 or 6 times more the payroll of somebody down the line in baseball. Because the NFL isn't kicking baseball's head in TV ratings and what's good for their players. What's good for the players is that the game is strong. Strong. How can you compare yourself to a league that has been kicking your butt for years now? You used to be the premier sport in this country. And for the last 30 years, football, college football, NFL football has run you over. Run you over. So maybe you ought to think about doing a little something different. The problem is, do the owners have the stomach to let a season just go? Do the players? I think the players actually do. But that's what it would take. I mean, it would probably take an entire season just getting wiped out. The whole season. And the owner's saying, you know what? You guys don't want to play. You don't like this. We're going to put a salary cap in. It's $270 million. There's going to be a floor at $140 million. And, average salaries are $30 million, whatever, for top 30, 40 million. You guys don't want to do that. Do whatever you want to do. Go do something else. Go do something else. Of course, yes, the owners make money. Players are making a lot of money too. This is not good for baseball. And they don't share revenue on TV, which is the other problem. The TV money that the Miami Marlins get is infinitesimal compared to the Dodgers. The TV money that the Pittsburgh Pirates get is infinitesimal. The Pirates get $50 million in their local TV deal. The Dodgers get $325 million in their TV deal. And they get to keep that money. In the NFL, nobody is making, the Dallas Cowboys don't make more money in their TV deal than do the Cleveland Browns. The Cowboys are on Monday Night Football 15 times a year. They're on Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, whenever there's a night. Dallas Cowboys, Kansas City Chiefs, here we go. Those teams don't get any more money than the New York Jets get. All the TV money is from the networks. It all goes into a pool and it's whacked up evenly. Yeah, but the NFL doesn't know what they're doing. They need to be more like baseball with no salary cap, and you keep your own TV money. In baseball, the local TV money is in many respects bigger than the network money. And they all keep it. They all keep their own money. It's nuts. All right, we get a break. I'm glad I got it. Oh, by the way, as I said, the top 10 teams in payroll are going to be, top 8 right now are over the threshold. In 2022, the Dodgers payroll 3 years ago was $226 million more than the Orioles. And that was the largest at the time. That was the largest gap between the highest and the lowest at $226 million. The next year it was $299 million between the Mets and the A's. This year, the difference between the Dodgers and the Rays is $343 million. This is crazy. That's crazy. In the early 2000s, the Yankees payroll was $125 million, and the Marlins payroll was $18 million. 7 or 8 times the lowest payroll. Dodgers are 4 times greater than the Rays this year. Here's this little kicker. Only 4 times in the last 20 years has the World Series champ had the highest payroll. 8 times it was 10th or lower. The last 8 World Series champs were in the top 10. The lowest was 2003 when the Marlins beat the Yankees. And they had the 25th payroll. So 2003 is like 23 years ago. All right, 2-1. Finland's still leading Canada. 10 minutes to go in the third period. When we come back, our first Friday fishing report. We'll do it with Captain Jake Davis next down on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
NASCAR at Atlanta's Echo Park Speedway Sunday for the Auto Trader 400. Ryan Blaney and Chase Elliott, the 9-1 code favorites. Joey Logano is 10-1. In the Craftsman Truck Series race tomorrow at Atlanta, Kyle Busch, the 2-1 favorite. In the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race at Atlanta, Austin Hill plus 225. College baseball today, Auburn $1.30 favorite over Kansas State. Troy $1.88 favorite over Campbell. In SEC basketball tomorrow, the Auburn Tigers laying 2.5 at home against the Kentucky Wildcats. The total 157.5 at Neville Arena. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the play.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you need masonry, brick, stone, or block work, Eagle should be your first call. They can even help if your property needs grading, erosion control, and Eagle can handle dirt haul-off. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Beau Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Beau knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
What does it mean to be a part of the Southeastern Conference? That you paint your body, your car, and your dog your school colors? Maybe. But it means more than that. It means your alumni network includes the state, the country, and beyond. It means your school ring doubles as your resume. And yeah, you better believe it means more titles, like doctor, CEO, and your honor. Because this is the SEC. And here, it just means more. What does it mean to be part of the Southeastern Conference? That yours is the only conference with its own chant? Well, yes, but it means more than that. It means a study abroad program that might include reforestation in a mangrove swamp in Australia. It means finding your calling, your future spouse, your startup's co-founders, and of course, grilling tongs that play your fight song. This is the SEC, and here, it just means more.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by Mike Owen and Owen Home Appliance. Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance also prides themselves on community involvement as well. They get involved in all kinds of things, sponsoring local teams and events and so on, and they make sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. It's Owen Home Appliance. The Canadians have tied the game. I don't know if they're doing a review here. Brad Marchand stumbled over UC Saros, but then got out of the way. Yep, they let it go. So the Canadians have scored on a long shot from near the blue line that went off the shoulder of Saros, and they've tied the game at 2 with 8 minutes to go. So they were down 2-0 to Finland, and they've shown a lot of grit to battle all the way back and tied this game up at 2. So good job by the Canadians, and they are just a scrappy bunch. I mean, there's no doubt about it. All right, joining us now to talk a little bit about for our first Friday Fishing Report of the spring. Is it spring yet? Well, it's kind of spring. It's the one and only Captain Jake Davis from Mid-South Bass Guides. Jake, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, Tom. It's good to talk to you again. We're doing good. We're down here at Lake Chickamauga. So,
well, you got a big high school. Got a big high school tournament down there this weekend. Is that right?
We're going to float 250 boats tomorrow morning.
Wow. So, at Chickamauga, and you're going to have good weather for it too. So that's a good thing.
We've got beautiful weather. It's beautiful down here now. The water looks like it's getting right, and everybody's out practicing.
And that's a Tennessee Bass Nation tournament that's taking place down there. All right, Jake. So let's talk a little bit about pre-spawn. I think we're seeing for water temperatures around the region for the most part. Are we back into the 40s at all, or what do we have?
We're getting back into the 40s. It's ranging anywhere, depending upon if you start up by Nashville, you're going to get 42, 43. You start getting back down here towards Tennessee River. Excuse me, fire department going by. Anyhow, you get back down towards Tennessee River, it starts warming up a little faster. Those north side coves warm up faster. Guys need to, guys and gals need to watch that because the warmer water is where those fish start moving into. I'm hearing rumors that there's some near water temperatures around Chickamauga, and purely rumors from some of the kids is about 52, 53 in the back of some of these pockets. So that just shows you a variance, move a little bit further south, the warmer it gets, especially if we get some sunny days like today is right now, it's going to warm up fast.
So in Guntersville, at this point in time, we're assuming that we're around that 50-degree mark or a little higher than that. Does that grass start to come in now? Is there grass that just never goes away? What is there green grass? Just talk about the grass lake there and what they're dealing with.
Well, and that's Guntersville, Nickajack, Pickwick, and Chickamauga, a little bit on Watts Bar. But, yeah, that green grass will start coming back slowly but surely. Right now, a bunch of it's busted off because it got so cold. It died off and busted off and floated away. But it'll start growing again here faster than people think, especially in the shallow areas. And like on Guntersville, everybody has this misconception with that all the fish move out deep. Well, you and I both have been on Guntersville, and we've proved that different. You don't need to be out there deep all the time. You move up shallow, especially in the afternoons. That grass is starting to grow. You get around some of the duckweed. It warms up faster. Those fish get up there to warm themselves, and they'll start feeding.
Yeah.
And historically, a good rattle trap bite. That's why this rattle trap bite on Guntersville is so well known for it. And chatterbait.
Well, and I find that to be the case. I remember fishing Priest, with a rattle trap, early in the year like this and having great success there. I mean, that just seems to be this time of year, the lipless crankbait. Now, talk about the colors, that people want to be throwing, because it seems to be, everybody says red, and as long as it's red, it doesn't matter what color it is, as long as it's red. But that's not always the case. There's a lot of shad imitators that work as well.
And this year is going to be a lot different. We have not had the rain. I mean, I'm sitting here looking across Dallas Bay in Chester Frost, and typically this time of year, we've had a lot of rain. The lakes are starting to come up, and they're muddy, or they've got some color to them. This lake isn't muddy. I mean, there's a little color around the bank here in Chester Frost, but the rest of it's clear. So you're going to want to, that red is good, but you're going to want to look at the natural colors. Maybe go back to the old-fashioned blue and silver, or silver and black, rattle traps. Your translucent baits will start working because it's so clear.
Yeah.
And people are going to need to change it up a little bit. But you're right, that red, the chartreuse with the black back.
In our Friday fishing report, moving baits. The thing you want now is moving baits. You're fishing real slow. You're using moving baits, crankbaits, things like that. Stained water, go with your colors. Clear water, go with your more natural colors. Your green pumpkins, your bladed jigs in white, your shad imitators, more like that. So there you go. There's your Friday fishing report. All right, that's going to do it for us. They're tied at 2 with 4.5 minutes to go there. We'll have it all wrapped up on Monday. Who will win the gold medal? We'll find out. Till then, have a great day, everybody.